Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're going to be customizing the Dinka RT3000 in Grand Theft Auto Online. This thing is on sale this week, so I figured it was time to give it another customization. It's been quite some time. Today we're actually doing the customization in the auto shop. Everybody's been asking me to do customizations in the auto shop for quite some time, and I decided today we would do that. I'm going to test it out, see if I like it any better. We'll see. But we're going to go ahead and start off with the armor. We're going to go all the way up on this, the brakes as well for sure. For the bumpers, we do have front and rear bumper options for this car. Now I previously went for a pretty race themed build with my Dominator ASP, and I think that I'm kind of interested in doing something a little bit similar with the Dinka RT3000 here. So we're going to go ahead and I think put on the tuner bumper. I like the look of it. It's got some canards. It looks pretty aggressive, so we're going for that. For the rear bumper, we have quite a few different options here as well. Of course, these are tuners DLC vehicles, so they are pretty customization heavy, I must say. ROCKSTAR did do a very good job with these vehicles. I think that for this rear bumper option here, I want to go for probably the Street Kit 2 or the Street Kit 1. I'm thinking the Street Kit 2 though, because I kind of like how it still has that little bit of bumper there. So we're going to go for that. The engine, for the engine block to start off with, let's go for, you know what, I kind of like the carbon valve covers. Let's go for those. For the cam cover itself, we could go for some exposed pulleys here maybe. Let's do maybe some blue ones, or should we do red? I mean, red is kind of the theme of the channel. We gotta go red, I think. For the strut brace, we are gonna go for something titanium. I typically go for the wide titanium strut brace. That's what we're going to go for on this car as well. The air filter, I really like the stock air filter. I don't think that anything really looks better than that. So we're going to leave that alone. And of course for the tune, we're going to go all the way up on that. For the exhaust for this car, we have a lot of different exhaust options here. We got some single exits, and of course we have some duals. I think in the interest of making the rear of the car look good, that we are going to go for a dual rear exhaust, and we're going to go for the twin tuners because they're the biggest. They take up the most space there. I feel like there's a lot of empty space right there, which I don't really like, so we're going to try to fill it up as much as we can. For headlight covers, we can go for red headlight glass, green, blue, yellow, or iridescent. Now I'm going to go for iridescent, not because I really want to, but if we actually, you know what, no, on this car I don't have to. I was going to say if you don't, the headlight is affected by the window tint, but I don't think that we're probably going to be putting on any tint for this car today. So let's actually just leave it alone, I think, for right now. For the fenders, we got some really interesting options for this car. This car is one of the weirdest ones in the game for options. You can completely remove the fenders if you want to. I'm personally not going to go for that choice. There's a lot of really good looking options in my opinion. I think that what I would like to do is maybe go for a slightly widened fender if we can. However, the only thing that we can really do is add the bolt-on arches. Oh, okay, wait a minute. We can do that to the rear, and then we can also do something to the front. I didn't really realize that. Should we do... Oh, let's do that. I like the track fenders. The track fenders are pretty aggressive looking. Let's go for that. I like that option. For the grille, we have the intercooler with twin fans, the water sprayer, the monster intercooler, and then, of course, we can do the intercooler with the radiator or the monster logo. I think that this is a Dinka, is it not? Why do we have an Annis intercooler? I guess it's aftermarket. Okay, let's go for the monster intercooler. Why not? For the hood itself, we can remove it. We can go for a bolt-on vents hood. Ooh, that's kind of aggressive. I kind of like that. This car does have quite a few good options on it, I must say. Maybe we go for the extreme hood. However, I feel like it's almost too aggressive. I feel like I like the bolt-on vents. I feel like that's kind of a cool hood. I think that we're probably, it's either that one or we go for like the extreme hood or the performance hood. You know, I'm thinking the performance hood though, because it kind of adds a little more to the front of the car. So let's do that one for right now. For the interior, for the dashboard, we are going to strip this thing all the way out. For the doors, we're going to go carbon race door cards because, like I said, this thing is going to be kind of a race car. For the seats, let's go for the carbon track seats. I kind of like the look of those. And for the steering wheel, the Rally Clubman as usual. That's my favorite aftermarket steering wheel in the game. So I think that looks really good. I'm liking this thing so far. For the headlights, we are going to go xenon. Neon, we could put it on, but like I said, it's going to be kind of a race car. I don't really want to put it on. Now for the livery, this is where we're going to be able to turn this thing into a proper race car. We have the Dinka race car livery. We have the Dinka motorsport livery as well. We have the Warhawk, the Fukaru Performance, the Mind-Mocked Street Car. Ooh, I really like that so far. Okay, we might have to go for something there. The Sword Boy, not a big fan. Purple Flames, we got the backside sponsors. Ooh, I kind of like this livery as well. It's kind of cool. Princess Robot Bubblegum, of course, we have that. Stance Andreas, we do have that as well. Ooh, Atomic Motorsport. Now that is a sick livery, actually. I need to get my my car meet reputation leveled up a little bit here. Oh, we have the Dinka Performance livery too. That is so sick. That is such a clean livery, actually. I really like that. The Total Fire as well is really cool. So far, I like the Dinka race car livery. I like the Dinka motorsport livery as well. It's okay. We got the Mind-Mocked Street Car and the backside sponsors livery. I'm thinking the Mind-Mocked Street Car is my favorite livery so far, so that is the one that we are going to go for. To start off with, we may change it later, you never know. For the mirrors, I do want to go for the carbon racing mirrors because they have a kind of a lower profile, so let's do that. Yellow on black for the plate, of course. For the respray of the vehicle, this is going to be a tough choice because I want it to look good with this livery, which means that I feel like we are a little bit limited as to our color options here. We could go for maybe like an orange or something like that. I feel like it kind of works really well with the red and the black of the Mind-Mocked livery. So that is of course an option. We have all the oranges that we could go for. It's between cream and Mariner blue, I think, or maybe dew yellow. Maybe dew yellow. Kind of like dew yellow though. Such a nice like bright color for the car. I feel like it does work really well. Let's go right now just for Mariner blue. We may change that later. For the secondary color, I will... Ooh, I'm probably going to keep that black unless I can color match that red, which is going to be a bit challenging because I am colorblind. Is it Blaze Red? No, Blaze is kind of close though. And then we got Grace Red. I don't think we're going to be able to match this very well. So it's looking like we're probably going to have to go for black for this part of the livery because yeah, I cannot match that any better. For the interior color, oh, I want to do that as a red. It marks the center point on the steering wheel. I kind of like that. The accent color, which does the gauges, let's do that. Do we have a Mariner blue that we can go for? Let's do that. That matches up nicely. I like it. For the roof, we got to go for a hardtop option here of some sort. I'm not sure which one that is going to be. Definitely not this one. I don't think that looks too good. I think that the sport hardtop looks a lot better. So we're gonna go for the primary sport hardtop. I think that looks pretty good, so let's do that. For the splitter, oh, we can add a splitter onto this thing. That is crazy. We can go for the extreme splitter, the carbon performance splitter. We got some pretty cool options here. I am kind of liking the extreme splitter just because it's nuts looking. I kind of like maybe the performance splitter or maybe the extreme. Let's go extreme for right now. We might change that. For the spoiler, we have the low spoiler for this thing. We have the secondary low spoiler, the primary ducktail secondary as well, the carbon wing type 2, extreme downforce BGW. We got the muscle killer wing and the drift wing as well. The drift wing is pretty nice. I do kind of think that the extreme downforce one is going to be the option for us though, or maybe we do go drift wing. I don't know. I feel like this one goes to the edge of the car a little better. Let's do the drift wing. Actually, I wasn't expecting to do that. For the sunstrip, let's actually go for a Stance Andreas one just because it adds something else onto the car. I think that that's pretty cool, so let's do that. Suspension, we are going to slam this thing down as much as we can. For the transmission, all the way up, of course, the turbo as well. The wheels, I want to go to the track section and I want to find some wheels in here that are gonna work well for this car. I'm kind of liking the split stars or the forged 5. Those both look really good. The tropos are also super nice. Why have I never really seen the tropos before? That might be an option. The exos are also, they're kind of weird. I don't know if I like those. I think the tropos though, I think those look really, really good. Let's go for the tropos. For the wheel color, we could go black. We could also potentially go for a red of some sort. I feel like blaze red is the closest we can get to the sort of mind-mocked red, and it's not that close, so that is unfortunate. Could go for like a bronze if we wanted to, but honestly, actually, doesn't look too bad. It really doesn't look too bad. Let's do it. Let's do it. Why not? Let's go for some bronze rims there. Now we can also put a tire livery on this thing. Let's do Fukaru in the red because this thing has a Fukaru sponsorship on the side of it. So let's actually go for that. Or we could go atomic. It's got an atomic one as well, but Fukaru's got the red. So I think that, yeah, we gotta go Fukaru, I think. Bulletproof tires, we might as well add those on, I suppose. The windows, like I said, we're not going to be tinting those because, like I said, it does do the headlights, as you guys can see right there. So no tint on the windows for this thing. I am just wondering about changing the color of the car. That is something that I am kind of toying with. Let's see about a primary color here. Is there anything that looks any better? What about that dew yellow that we were looking at? Ooh, candy red though. Why does that work so well? Yo, candy red is kind of sick. Cabernet red's kind of cool too. I feel like it kind of hides the livery though a little bit almost. Maybe it's just the pearlescent, but I don't know. It does look pretty good though. We do have the orange that we could go for as well. The orange looks sick too. Ah man, I got bright orange as well. Bright orange is sick. Oh man, there's so many good colors for this car. Dew yellow, also amazing looking. Kind of looks like McDonald's though, so I don't really want to go for that necessarily. But the bright orange, like, man, why is that so clean? Ah man, the bright orange. I don't know, man. The cream too. The cream is also insane. What if we take the pearlescent off of Mariner Blue? Kind of looks better in my opinion, almost. Yeah, it kind of looks weird with all the livery parts that are in black. Like the pearlescent kind of messes with them. Let's take the pearl off. Honestly, like I feel like it looks really good. I feel like there almost is too much going on with the blue, the red, the black, and the bronze. But at the same time, I do like it. So you know what? I'm gonna just say, you know, we're done. I think that this looks really good. Let's take it outside. We're going to do a sound test and of course a full review on the car as well. And how does it look in the sunshine? Okay. You know what? It didn't turn out too bad. I'm pretty happy with this thing. Let's just quickly take a listen to how this car sounds. It sounds really good. It sounds really, really good. The RT3000 is a pretty cool car. There's one more thing that I want to do with this car, and that is stance it. I know that this is a Tuner's DLC vehicle. That means you can stance the car, and I feel like this is more of a race stance with this thing. However, it also means that the car is going to drift a lot. So I'm actually going to take it out of race stance. I just wanted to see how the car was going to look in the race stance. So it looks pretty good. But unfortunately, we're not going to keep that on because it just doesn't make the car handle a little bit less than ideally. The RT3000. So this car is on sale this week. It is definitely a car that I would recommend picking up. I think that the RT3000 is actually a very, very nice little car. For the price, it's pretty good. In the tuners like subclass of vehicles, it is one of, I would say, the more competitive vehicles in the class. It has pretty good acceleration. It's nice and small, so it's really agile. And if you guys have ever played the tuners races, you know there's the little shortcuts that are all over the place in those races. This thing will be a lot easier to get through those little shortcuts than some of the other cars that are let's say a little more full sized. The RT3000 is, you know, purely a two-seater. Some of the other cars you could say, you know, maybe they actually do have 4 seats, and generally I think they're just like bigger cars. So the RT3000 being a much smaller vehicle, I think is definitely something that works to its advantage in the tuners subcategory races in GTA. Those are the races that you have to do to win the prize ride within the LS car meet. In case you guys didn't know what I'm talking about, they're pretty fun, and you know, having a car that's competitive, having something that's a little bit smaller, a little bit more agile, is very nice in those races. So the RT3000 is certainly certainly a vehicle that I recommend for them. It handles really nicely. The acceleration is pretty good as well. The top speed is a little bit weak, but in those races in particular, you really don't need top speed very much, if ever. So really is not the end of the world. This car is also very good at drifting. I actually kind of forgot how good this thing is at drifting. Very controllable, even without the car being stanced. It's pretty good to drift. But when you stance it, you know, as long as you're doing everything properly, it is going to drift very, very nicely. So keep that in mind. If you like drift cars or anything like that, you could probably drift the RT3000 pretty good. I mean, I'm drifting it decently well right now, and it's not really even set up to drift or anything like that. And I also suck at drifting, so I guess there's that, right? So final thoughts on the RT3000. If this thing is on sale, I would say you should absolutely purchase it. At its full price, I'm not as inclined to say you should buy it. However, if you've been looking at the RT3000 and you're thinking about purchasing it, you should try to wait for a sale, but if you just can't wait, it is certainly a car that I would recommend picking up, no matter the cost of it. I would recommend trying to unlock the trade price first, at least, because otherwise you're really going to pay for this car. But other than that, I mean, if you guys really like the RT3000, you're probably going to buy it anyways, so I'd say you might as well just go for it. Anyway, guys, that is pretty much it for the Dinka RT3000 customization and review in Grand Theft Auto Online. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you learned something, a like is of course appreciated, if not dislike. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.